Gary, thanks a lot for doing the end of season interview.
No problem.
First season in the Blue Square Premier. How's it been for you personally?
It went, for long periods, it went pretty much like I knew that we would have bad days where we would get punished. So I'm always told to keep quiet, to stop shouting so much. Yeah, I knew we'd have bad days. I didn't think we'd have a day as bad as Luton. I knew we'd get days like Stevenage away and Wimbledon away. And I think I just said there to some a reporter up there, is that we've had good foundations. This team have been together now for pretty much 3 years. There's a lot of players that have been with us from the first day, and the foundations are there. So we have the character to be able to react, and I prefer it if we didn't have to, but we've reacted. And there's been good days that there's a lot of ability in that team. And at times it took us a long while to get them to believe it in the Conference South, and it's probably going to take us a long time to get them to believe it in the Conference. But we're going to have games where we go to Oxford and win games and surprise people. But what we've found is that teams have switched onto it a little bit better, and they've understood how we play, and certain teams have done very well, and we haven't been able to cope. And that's been the big problem, is that when things have gone wrong, we haven't been able to cope with it. Adjust. The foundations are there, but whether we have the players that can adjust to this level is debatable.
Is the budget a big question in that as well, Gary? Because obviously you haven't got the money that a lot of these clubs have in this league. A lot of them are full-time. Does that work against you?
Not really, no. Not, I mean, with this budget we're not going to get promoted, but there's teams on who are full-time paying 12 months a year, but on a weekly basis. Right. We've got a bigger budget than them, so it's doable. We've had various problems in getting players in, and at the end of last season we had problems because of the timings, and I was told that very early on by a couple of teams that have been promoted through the playoffs, that this is a problem for you because you've got 2 or 3 weeks less than everybody else. So no, but just not a problem at all.
Do you think next season will be easier or harder?
I think it depends on the kind of team we're putting out.
Right. You've obviously got more time now to prepare for next season, as you say, because of last season with the playoffs. It obviously puts you 2 to 3 weeks behind everybody else.
Yeah, and to be honest, we've known really for probably 3 weeks that we were going to be safe. I always felt that I think the win against Oxford here was probably enough. I haven't seen the points yet, but I'll have a look at it and work out exactly when we were actually safe. But obviously, until we were mathematically safe, it was always going to be a problem. And I think games would have been different. I could have approached, say, the Salisbury game a little bit differently, the Kidderminster game a little bit differently, today's game a little bit differently, and possibly the transfer window a little bit differently, the loan deadline. But I always felt we had enough going into, certainly coming into the middle of March. And it's just a case of just knocking over a couple more and getting some more points on the board.
Highlight of the season?
It's a difficult one. Probably the return here after losing, getting beat 5-0 by Wimbledon, where we had some real problems and some real question marks as to whether we were going to. And we beat Ebbsfleet here comfortably and played really, really well. And that was, I think, when I felt, yeah, we do actually have enough character. And going into January, then I knew that I wasn't under that much pressure because I felt we had enough, and it was really just trying to cover the different areas where we might pick up injuries. So probably the Ebbsfleet and the Wimbledon game here over Christmas, where we came out of the Christmas period with 6 out of 9 points and really gave us a push.
Excellent. Oxford home and away as well?
Yeah, I think we played really well for Oxford first half, didn't play as well second half and sat off, and a little bit disappointed that we didn't have the strength to go on and keep passing the ball, even with 10 men against Oxford. We've proved that we could do that. We got a little bit panicky in that one, and then here we probably got a little bit fortunate with their player getting sent off and the referee giving the goal rather than sending Clark off and giving a penalty. That would have made the game a little bit different. Because going in with 10v10 with them a goal up would have been a different game. The second half was a different game, so it's different circumstances. So I think for me the highlights were Ebbsfleet and Wimbledon here, because I really felt then that we had enough. I felt that we'd done enough in the first 3 or 4 months of the season, and the players had shown enough that I think we could stay up.
And the lowest point of the season?
Probably 33 minutes and 19 seconds.
I was waiting for the Luton answer, yeah.
And at 7-0 and not having a clue what to do, really.
Have you ever experienced anything like that before, as a player or a manager?
Yeah, I was at Huddersfield Town when we got beat 10-1 by Manchester City.
Right.
And I was an apprentice there, and yeah, there's been other
It
defeats.
happens.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I spoke to people since then, and everybody said that they just couldn't believe that everything went in. Literally everything went in, and I've done it. You can go through the goals, but the best thing to do was just to move on, and that's what we did.
Excellent. Read in the Gazette this week that you was quoted as saying that could be some interest from outside clubs in your services.
I got a bit of a problem with this because a lot of people have quoted back to me what I said, but didn't actually. I was quoted directly in the paper, and what I said in the paper was, yes, there have been approaches, but it's difficult at this level because there's so many agents making the approach.
Yeah.
So a job comes available, an agent says to me, rings me and said, would you be interested in that job? I go, well, yeah, I would, because it's full time and you know, it's a good club. But are you saying that I'm being offered the job? And the agent then says, no, but I can get you that job. You say, well, I'll tell you what then, you get their chairman to ring our chairman, and then I'll take it seriously.
Right.
And that's what I've done. And I would say every vacancy that's come up, I've been asked if I'd be interested in it. And of course, you say, you know, a job like
an ambitious
Oxford,
manager.
a job like Oxford comes up and somebody says, are you interested? Of course you're interested.
That's it.
But at no point has there has been some talk amongst chairmen, I know there has, but at no point has somebody said, that's your job, do you want it? And for me to say yes or no. So my quote in the paper was that I would listen to somebody once their chairman, the club's chairman, has spoken to our chairman, and that's when I listened to them, and that hasn't happened. So, I mean, and then the headline is that I've had offers and I'm leaving, and that's not what I said. What I said was, look, agents talk, and I've got to the stage now where I've decided, I've got to the point where I ignore that, and when something official happens, that's when I talk, and that hasn't happened. So,
okay. So, are you looking forward to well-earned rest now?
No, what I'm doing is going home to eat some pasta to run the marathon tomorrow. So,
oh, you are running the London Marathon. This is not the first time, is it?
No, I did it last year, and I'm doing it this year as well. So, it's going to be a hot day. So, I'll be going home to bed early.
Right. Okay. And over the summer, watching the World Cup.
I think
you can pick any players up, or
well, I think we're back in late June, so I think middle of the World Cup we'll be back in training.
Right.
So,
okay.
It's going to be you watch it, but I mean, what I found is once you get started on pre-season, you don't really take any notice of anybody else. You've got too much work to do.
Yep.
But I mean, it's going to be a busy time as well. We've got a lot of players out of contract, a lot of players that I've looked at, and the busy period. The next week is going to be the busy period because every agent in the country.
Okay, so it's a bit of wheeling and dealing for the next few weeks. And
as usual. I'll go watch some of the games next week, and I think I'm going down to watch Exeter against Huddersfield on May the 8th. There's lots of games to watch. I'll go to Ireland and watch a couple of games over there. So you'll get around and
do you think it'll be easier to sell the club now after having one season in the Blue Square Prem?
Yeah, I think those players that kind of looked and went, well, you're going to get relegated straight away, so I'm not coming to you.
Right.
Yeah, but we're certainly not going to be competing with Oxford players or competing with Luton players or anybody else that's up there, because obviously if those clubs show interest, the players are going to go there. As what happened to Steve Basham at the start of the season. We actually had Bash in pre-season, and I was put a deal together for him, and then Luton came in, and he's obviously going to take that. But hopefully the players that might have gone to Grays or Ebbsfleet or Forest Green, they're going to now look at us, whereas last year they wouldn't have done. And that's going to be a big difference. But we've got to sort out our players first, and the ones that we...
And you're quite confident of keeping the majority of the players that you want to keep?
Yeah, I'd be disappointed if we didn't. I would hope I'd be able to, but then again, you never know what's going on. Other players might, all the teams might cover our players, so you've got to deal with that. And I would say that in every single position, I've got 2 or 3 options.
Right.
And it's just deciding whether the option is better than the players that we've got, and whether we can get them or get the players to sign.
And your targets for next season? Obviously a higher position finish than this season. Yeah,
I'd like to think we could improve on it. I think rather than say that I want to finish top 10, what I'll probably look at is saying, right, we've got to get to 50 points as quick as possible.
Right.
Get to 50 points by the end of December, then we're looking at promotion. Get to 50 points last week of the season, then we're looking at staying up.
Right.
I think if you take 50 points as being the marker, I can't see us being relegated ever with 50 points. So that's what we're going to get to that as quick as possible, and then adjust.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on your first season as a Blue Square Premier boss. Done all right, haven't we?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I looked at the forum this week. A few people had said there was a few things on it, and sometimes I wonder what people's expectations were. I'd like to compare what people's expectations were to what they now think. But to be honest, I wouldn't spend too much time worrying about what other people think. The only person that matters to me is the chairman.
Right,
If he thinks I've done a good job, then that's it. And then everybody else has got to worry about my opinion.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thanks a lot, Gary.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
Excellent.